Show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, writer, and historian. So it is Friday, December 11th, 2020. And I wanted to come on and talk about the breaking news story for today, dealing with the Supreme Court case filed by the state of Texas. And then you had 17 other states join in on this lawsuit trying to overturn the results of a lawful election, trying to overturn the results of a lawful election and trying to steal the election from Joe Biden and keep Donald Trump in power. Okay, so I want to break down what happened. If you have been listening to my daily show, the African History Network show, we're on Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time, and then Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, you know, we've been breaking down this, a lot of these lawsuits and following this. And we knew this was going to happen, but also I knew the result was going to be that this case would be dismissed. Okay, there is no legal standing. All right, so let's look at the report. Everybody, how's everybody doing? Everybody share this broadcast on your social media platforms. Invite your friends to tune in also. Okay, and we're going to give you. We'll post the links here to these articles also, so you can go research this information. Posted a few articles on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network, breaking this down. I want to look at the article from the New York Times. New York Times, Supreme Court rejects Texas suit seeking to subvert elections. Supreme Court rejects Texas suit seeking to subvert election. Also, National Public Radio had a really good article dealing with Supreme Court shuts door on Trump election prospects. And I said, but he'll keep lying, And when you read these articles and you read the one from the New York Times, Rudy Giuliani said they're going to press on. They're going to keep going and with these frivolous lawsuits claiming fraud and all this nonsense. But what it really is Trump has raised at least $250 million since November 3rd. Since the November 3rd election, Donald Trump has raised at least $250 million trying to contest the lawsuit. Okay, that's what this is about. And it's a bunch of losers and suckers who keep donating money it's a bunch of losers and suckers that keep donating money trying to overturn the results of this election, but it's not happening. Okay, so this lawsuit filed directly in the Supreme Court sought to bar Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin from casting their electoral votes for Joe Biden. All right, now those that watch me, you all know I live in Detroit. Okay, and the vote of African Americans in these various cities, Milwaukee, Detroit, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, there was a concerted effort to try to invalidate the votes of African Americans in these large major cities. Okay, but it did not work. And it really pissed a lot of people off. And I think the January 5th, 2021, two runoff elections in Georgia, I think is really going to piss a lot of African Americans off there and show them and show them why it's important, why it's important for them to turn out for those two elections. Okay, so it's extremely important. All right, so let's continue. Everybody share this broadcast on your social media platforms. Invite your friends to tune in. So let's break this down quickly here. Okay, so the Supreme Court on Friday, December 11th, 2020, rejected a lawsuit by Texas that asked the court to throw out the election results in 4 battleground states that Donald Trump lost in November, ending any prospect that a brazen attempt to use the courts to reverse his defeat at the polls would succeed. The court, in a brief unsigned order, it was one page, a brief unsigned order, said Texas lacked standing. The state of Texas lacked standing to pursue the case, saying it, quote, has not demonstrated a judiciously cognizable interest in the manner in which another state conducts its elections. Okay. Basically, it's saying the way that Michigan, the way that Pennsylvania, the way that the state of Georgia, the way that the other state, Wisconsin, the way they conduct their elections don't have nothing to do with the state of Texas. Texas can't sue to try to keep the electoral college votes from Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin from being counted. So the electoral college votes on December 14th. They vote. They always vote the first Monday following the second Wednesday in December. The first Monday following the second Wednesday in December. Okay, so it's going to take place Monday, December 14th. So earlier this week, I talked about this suit that was filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, Paxton, Ken Paxton. There was an article from TexasTribune.org, TexasTribune.org from December 8th, 2020, earlier this week. And we talked about this on my show, okay? The name of this article, in new lawsuit, Texas contests election results in Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. And it says Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing 4 battleground states whose election results handed the White House to President-elect Joe Biden. In the suit, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton claims that pandemic era changes to election procedures in those states violated federal law, and asked the U.S. Supreme Court to block the states from voting in the electoral college. The last minute bid, which legal experts have already characterized as a long shot, comes alongside dozens of similar attempts by Donald Trump and his political allies, his cronies, his political hacks. The majority of those lawsuits have already failed. So earlier this week, it was like 55 lawsuits that had been filed. And it was I'm going to pull this graphic up here from MSNBC. We posted this on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. It was, let's see, earlier in the week, it was total cases filed 55, denied, dismissed, or withdrawn at least 38 cases. Denied, dismissed, or withdrawn at least 38 cases. Still open and active 16 cases. None of these cases have uncovered election fraud. Now, there have been election irregularities. There have been clerical errors. Okay. When they're filing these cases, when they're arguing these cases in court, the overwhelming majority of these cases, they're not even claiming election fraud, because if they claim election fraud, they're going to have to provide evidence. They don't have evidence. They're lying. They don't have evidence. They're lying. To show you how much they're lying, and we're going to keep this short, okay? I want to keep this short here. To show you how much they're lying, those that watch my show, you know, we talked about this this businessman who donated $2.5 million to a pro-Trump election ethics group. His name is Frederick Eshelman. And I don't mean to put him on blast, but you're just stupid, okay? Then you deserve to be put on blast, okay? What happened was he realized that they were lying. He realized that he donated this money, so they'll file these suits. He donated the money, so they'll file these lawsuits and overturn the results of the election. Okay. So what happened was he realized that they weren't getting the results they promised, and he realized they were lying. Okay. He realized they weren't getting the results they promised, and he realized that they were lying. So he asked for his money back. Okay. They said, so he's suing them for $2.5 million to get his money back. All right. Read this article from The Guardian. And I want to try to see if I can pull this up here. on the screen share. It was freezing up on me. Okay, let's turn this on. Let's turn the screen share on. Trump supporter who gave $2.5 million to fight election fraud wants money back. Okay, now, if you watch my show, you know, I talk about how these Trump supporters, these are people who haven't figured out that wrestling is not real. These are people who haven't figured out they're being lied to. Everybody's in on the con except the Trump supporters, because the attorneys are in on the con, Trump's in on the con, the people in his administration are in on the con, and even you had 126 Republican lawmakers in the House of Representatives that signed on to this con of a lawsuit, also this fraud of a lawsuit. Okay, but when you very quickly here, when you look at this article here from The Guardian, they go through, break it down. Trump supporter who gave $2.5 million to fight election fraud wants money back. Businessman Frederick Eshelman sues pro-Trump election ethics group, citing disappointing results of effort to expose cheating. Okay, so this is from November 28th, 2020. All right. So this genius actually thought that these people, he donated the money to the True the Vote. It's a pro-Trump group. He actually thought they were going to be able to file these lawsuits in 7 swing states. Okay. He's a businessman from North Carolina. He said he gave the money to True the Vote, a pro-Trump election ethics group in Texas that promised to file lawsuits in 7 swing states as part of its push to investigate, litigate, and expose suspected illegal balloting and fraud in the 2020 general election. So what happened was they kept losing in court. And then he realizes, I'll be damned. I've been conned. I've been had. I've been bamboozled, led astray, run amok. Okay. So then he files a lawsuit against them to get his money back. The lack of success of True the Votes. Let's go back to the screen share. I want to show you how stupid these people are. Okay. I want to show you how stupid these people are. Now, he's smarter than most of them, because he realized he's being conned. He realized wrestling is not fake. He realized wrestling is fake. Okay, so the lack of success of True the Vote's efforts to challenge the outcome appears to mirror that of the president himself, Donald Trump, whose team has lost 38 court actions since the November 3rd election. And that's a November 28th. They lost 38. It's even more they lost now. Okay. Most recently in Pennsylvania, where federal appeals court panel blasted Trump's legal team for filing a case with no merit. It's the same thing with this Supreme Court lawsuit. It's a case with no merit. All right. So he ended up asking he wants his money back. They said that right here, Eshelman, the former chief executive of a pharmaceutical company, claims in his lawsuit that the nonprofit True the Vote offered to refund him $1 million if he would drop his plan to sue the group. He is seeking the return of the full $2.5 million. Okay. He said he wired Engelbrecht's instructions. He said he wired the group in chunks of $2 million and $500,000. November 5th and 2013, November 5th, November 13th. Okay. He wired them payments of $2 million and a payment of $500,000. You dumb as hell. But these are the type of people following Trump. He's the one of the smart ones. He figured out he's being lied to. A lot of these other ones haven't figured it out yet. Okay. So check out this article from The Guardian. That just gives you some background information on the type of people you're dealing with. All right. Now let's look at this here. Let's go back to the one from New York Times. Okay. Supreme Court rejects Texas suit seeking to subvert election from December 11th, 2020. All right. Now, so the court in a brief unsigned order said Texas lacked standing to pursue the case, saying it, quote, has not demonstrated a judicially cognizable interest in the manner in which another state conducts its elections. Now, the order, coupled with another one on Tuesday, turning away a similar request from Pennsylvania Republicans, signaled that a conservative court with 3 justices appointed by Donald Trump refused to be drawn into the extraordinary effort by the president and many prominent members of his party to deny his Democratic opponent, former Vice President Joe Biden, his victory. So Donald Trump, going back to even before the election, he said he said that they wanted to get Amy Coney Barrett on the U.S. Supreme Court because he felt that this case was going to end up in the Supreme Court. He felt that the election results would be close. It's going to end up in the Supreme Court, and you need a non-Supreme Court justices. He was trying to steal this case in the court. Okay, so who helped him try to steal this case? No good, low down Moscow Mitch McConnell. Okay, who ran through Amy Coney Barrett, her confirmation hearing through the U.S. Senate, and Republicans control the Senate. Mitch McConnell, the Grim Reaper, is Senate Majority Leader, so he controls what takes place in the Senate. They ran through her confirmation. The very next day, he sent the Senate on recess. They had not passed a coronavirus bill to bail out the American people. He sent the Senate on recess, okay? He's trying to help Trump steal this election. So the order, coupled with another one on Tuesday, turning away a similar request from Pennsylvania Republicans, signaled that a conservative court with 3 justices appointed by Trump refused to be drawn into the extraordinary effort by Trump. So even Amy Coney Barrett voted against this. Neil Gorsuch voted against this. Okay, and the other Supreme Court justice that Trump nominated, they all voted against this. There's no legal standing for this. His plan didn't work; it backfired on him. But he's going to keep lying. Brett Kavanaugh, the boy that like to drink beer. Brett Kavanaugh. This backfired on Trump, but he's going to keep lying because he's raising money off of it. So it was the latest and most significant setback for Donald Trump in a litigation campaign that was rejected by courts at every turn. Texas lawsuit filed directly in the U.S. Supreme Court challenged election procedures in 4 states: Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. It asked the court to bar those states from casting their electoral votes for Joe Biden and to shift the selection of electors to the state legislatures. So many people and many legal experts and talk show hosts, things like this, they're calling this an attempted coup. You're trying to overthrow the will of the people, overthrow the vote of the people, and go to the U.S. Supreme Court, and you nominated 3 of the 9 Supreme Court justices. You just ran through Amy Coney Barrett because you felt that this case was going to end up in the Supreme Court. Now you got this case. Now you have this lawsuit filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who's being investigated by the FBI right now. Okay, he's being investigated by the FBI right now. And you have this baseless lawsuit, and it blew up in their face. You had 126 spineless Republicans in the House of Representatives who signed on to this lawsuit, and it's blown up in their face. Every last one of them, in 2 years when they're up for re-election, every last one of them needs to be voted out of office. Okay, so Donald Trump said he expected. Well, okay, so the Texas lawsuit filed directly in Supreme Court challenged election procedures in four states. Donald Trump said he expected to prevail in the Supreme Court after rushing the confirmation of Justice Amy Coney Barrett in October, in part in the hope that she would vote in Trump's favor in election disputes. That didn't work. She voted against him. I guess she's just not that into you, Trump. She voted against him. Quote, I think this will end up in the Supreme Court, Trump said of the election a few days after Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death in September 2020. Quote, and I think it's very important that we have 9 justices, end quote. So he was right that an election dispute would end up in the Supreme Court, but he was wrong to think that the court, even after he appointed a third of its members, would do his bidding. because it didn't work out that way. And with the Electoral College set to vote on Monday, December 14th, Donald Trump's efforts to change the outcome of the election will soon be at an end, but he's going to keep it line because millions of his followers have not figured out that wrestling is not real. And they're going to keep donating to him, and they're going to keep being conned. They're going to keep being played. This is what's taking place. How's everybody doing? Everybody share this broadcasting and social media platforms. Invite your friends to tune in also. Okay. Follow us on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. My YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, Imhotep. If you like this type of information, also, you could donate to the African History Network, $ the AHN Show through Cash App, $ the AHN Show through Cash App. Then also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN Show, paypal.me/the AHN Show. And then also at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Okay. And I wasn't even going to broadcast tonight. We're here. I do radio 6 days a week. Okay. We're here Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. To midnight Eastern Standard Time. We broadcast on Facebook and YouTube, but also broadcast on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation WFDF here in Detroit. I'm a radio talk show host here in Detroit. And then also Sundays, I do my radio show 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We broadcast here on social media. I wasn't going to broadcast today, but this story broke. So I said, let me come on here and talk about this to break this down, because on my Thursday show, this past week, on my shows this past week, we've been talking about this case coming up, and I said it's going to be dismissed. Okay. There is no merit for this case. It's another frivolous lawsuit. All right. Let's continue here quickly. So Donald Trump's campaign did not immediately issue a statement after the Supreme Court decision. In an appearance on the conservative network Newsmax, in Newsmax is like the new Fox. Newsmax in some ways is worse than Fox, and Trump is upset with Fox News because they started telling the truth about him lying. So he's directing a lot of his followers over to Newsmax. Okay. And in an appearance on the conservative network Newsmax, soon after the decision was announced, Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump's personal attorney, said that the campaign's legal effort would continue. The campaign's legal effort would continue, insisting that his team had originally planned for, quote, 4 or 5 separate cases. What evidence are you citing? They don't have any legal standing. What evidence are you citing? Okay. It's just more nonsense. Okay. It's just more nonsense. What evidence are you citing? Okay. The Electoral College votes on Monday, December 14th. Okay. So after they vote, now what? Now what's your argument? So he's just trying to get more billable hours. That's what this boils down to. He's just trying to get more billable hours. Okay. All right. Now, Rudy Giuliani said, "We're not finished. Believe me," he said with a laugh at the end of the interview. Now, Donald Trump, who at a White House Hanukkah party earlier in the week eagerly mentioned the pending court case in his remarks, was scheduled to attend another holiday party around the time the ruling came down, but around 8:30 p.m. On Friday, December 11th, guests were informed that Donald Trump would not be coming down from the residence to speak. Okay. Friday's order was not quite unanimous, however. Justice Samuel A. Alito Jr. joined with Justice Clarence Thomas and issued a brief statement on a technical point, but it was nonetheless a comprehensive rebuke to Trump and his allies. It was plain that the justices had no patience for Texas' attempt to enlist the court in an effort to tell other states how to run their elections. Okay, it was plain that the justices had no patience for Texas' attempt to enlist the court in an effort to tell other states how to run their elections, because you don't have a federal election that takes place. You don't have really a national election that takes place, like for president. You have 50 individual state elections. 50 individual state elections. Different states have different laws regarding the election. What the Supreme Court is saying, the state of Texas can't tell Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania how to run their elections. Okay, you don't have the authority to do that. You don't have the authority to sue them over how they run their elections. Now, the majority ruled that Texas could not file a lawsuit at all. Quote, the state of Texas motion for leave to file a bill of complaint is denied for lack of standing, end quote, the court's order said. Now, Justice Alito, taking a slightly different approach, wrote that the court was not free immediately to shut down lawsuits filed by states directly in the court. Quote, in my view, we do not have discretion to deny the filing of a bill of complaint in a case that falls within our original jurisdiction, end quote. So he's saying they should be able to file the lawsuit, but he's not saying they have he's not saying they have evidence or a legal standing, okay, for the merits of the lawsuit, but he's saying they should be able to file the lawsuit, but it's a moot point now. All right. Now, some of Donald Trump's advisors had anticipated the court would give Trump and the Republican attorney general from Texas something that could be characterized as supportive in the form of a dissent or a lengthy commentary. Instead, there was simply the brief statement from the two justices. All right, check out the article here from New York Times. It goes on to say, in the Texas case, the Supreme Court received more than a dozen friend of the court briefs and motions seeking to intervene from Trump, from coalitions of liberal and conservative states, from politicians and from scholars. Among them was a brief filed by more than 100 House Republicans, actually 126 House Republicans, who fell in line with this con Donald Trump is trying to run, to claim that the general election, the same one in which most of them were reelected, had been riddled with an unprecedented number of serious allegations of fraud and irregularities. But when these people go to court, they're not alleging fraud. When they're not telling the judge this is a fraud case, they're not alleging fraud when they go to court, and they're not providing evidence of fraud either. More than a dozen Republican state attorney generals, more than a dozen Republican state attorneys general expressed similar support on Wednesday. So let me get this straight. You're saying that Democrats rigged the election. The election was rigged, but Democrats let Mitch McConnell win in Kentucky. They let Cindy Hyde-Smith win in Mississippi. Okay, and beat Mike Espy for the senatorial race. Democrats rigged the election for Joe Biden, but they let Senator Kelly Loeffler win in Georgia. Okay, so there's a runoff election, and they let Senator David Perdue win in Georgia, so there's a runoff election. But the same election that these House Republicans are saying was riddled with fraud, these are the same elections you won in. So are you saying your win was fraudulent also? Is that the argument you're making? How is it all the fraudulent votes were for Biden, but none for you? You were running on the same ballot in the same election on the same day. So how is it all the fraudulent votes were for Biden, but none for you? Same thing for Trump. You're on the same ballot. The whole argument makes no sense. They're lying, but they're raising money off of idiots who have not figured out that wrestling is not real. All right, check out the rest of this article here, and it goes on to talk about how claims that the election was tainted by widespread fraud have been debunked by Donald Trump's own Attorney General William Barr, who said this month that the Justice Department had uncovered no voting fraud, quote, on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election, end quote. Okay, just more nonsense. All right, just more nonsense. So, okay, check this out here from New York Times. We're going to post this article here. And then how's everybody doing? Be sure to follow us on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. And our YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, Imhotep. We're here Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. And we go over on our social media platform because I do radio. We broadcast on 9, 10 a.m. the Superstation WFDF and on our social media platforms Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 12 midnight, and then Sundays 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, African American business owners, post the name of your business here in the thread of the broadcast. We'll let you know how you can advertise with the African History Network. Email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. We'll let you know how you can advertise with us. We will rebroadcast our shows throughout the day, and we will put your commercial in those broadcasts. We can create a commercial for you, no additional charge as well. If you like this type of information, you can donate to the African History Network, $ the AHN show through Cash App, $ the AHN show through Cash App, then also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show, paypal.me/the AHN show. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Well, I'm going to give you a couple of other articles here, one from NBC News and one from Washington Post. I went through and read all these articles here. Supreme Court rejects Texas effort to overturn election in fatal blow to Trump legal blitz to stop Biden. Supreme Court rejects Texas effort to overturn election in fatal blow to Trump legal blitz to stop Biden. The Supreme Court has decisively and speedily rejected the latest of Donald Trump and his allies' attacks on the democratic process, said Biden campaign spokesman Mike Gwynn. All right, so now he's gonna keep lying. Okay, he's gonna keep lying, but he's gonna keep they're gonna keep laughing him out of court. This is ridiculous. This is pitiful. Okay, and then the one from the Washington Post: Supreme Court dismisses bid led by Texas Attorney General to overturn the presidential election results, blocking Trump's legal path to a reversal of his loss. All right, we'll post this also from the Washington Post. How's everybody doing? Patricia, Leah, we've got some people watch my show each night. Robert, Derwin, Cassandra, Christy, Tim, Charles, Deuteronomy, Willie, just a few of the people, 90, Max, just a few of the people watching us also. I ain't planning to come on tonight, but this story broke. I said, look, I need to come on for a few minutes and talk to you all and break this down, because we've been talking about this all week, and the actual verdict came down today, ruling came down today from the U.S. Supreme Court. All right, we'll be back Sunday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to rebroadcast some shows throughout the day, throughout this weekend. So check that out also, okay? Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's corrects wrong behavior. Oh, also, all of my DVD lectures are available at our website, africanhistorynetwork.com, africanhistorynetwork.com. I speak across the country. I have like 40 of my DVD lectures at our website, africanhistorynetwork.com. We have a lot of them in digital download format. So when you donate to the African History Network or buy the DVDs, that helps us broadcast 6 days a week. We started doing 6 days a week, October 12th, 2020. Before then, it was Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we're here 6 days a week now, so that helps us to stay on the air, keep broadcasting, keep doing the research, pay the bills, etc. We have the 8 DVD bundle pack, The Africans Who Were Here Before Columbus, The Africans Who Were Here Before Columbus, and includes a double lecture that I did with Dr. David Imhotep, who wrote the book, The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence. A double lecture also I did with Professor Kaba Kamene, who was in Hidden Colors. One from Dr. John Henry Clark, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust. One from Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, They Came Before Columbus, and some other lectures. Then we also have the Black Migration 1619 to 2019 6 DVD bundle pack, or all some of my presentations. So we deal with Black Migration 1619 to 2019, that 400th year anniversary. I have one dealing with 6 principles of political self-defense. understanding how laws and policies impact the economic conditions of African Americans. One dealing with the history of African American jockeys and how we used to dominate horse racing. The first Kentucky Derby was ran in 1875. It was won by a 19-year-old African American man named Oliver Lewis, and how we used to win the Kentucky Derbies and how we were pushed out of horse racing and some other presentations in there also. We posted the links here, but visit AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. You can order my DVD lectures there, digital downloads. We also have a recommended reading list of about 70 books, there as well. All right. Right now it's correct. Wrong behavior is not over till we win. Wakanda forever. And thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.